Hey guys, it's Mama Dash with House of Dash, a mid-century modern home decor and furniture store located in the upper Midwest, but also available online. I am so happy you're here because today we're going to work on tablescapes. And what's a tablescape? It could look like this, but there's a million different ways you can do it. The thing is, tablescapes is the one thing that we kind of leave behind in the aesthetic of our dining room or our kitchen. We can also do it on our countertops. So anyway, let's walk through it. But first I have a bone to pick. I always type tablescape and then they correct it to table scrap. Who's right? Is tablescape a real word? Huh. Anyway, let's go. So, at my store, I have tons of tables to choose from. So I'm going to pick one that's kind of hard. I have black oak, I have pale oak, I have live edge. Let's do live edge. Okay, so for this project, I really want you to think about what you have stored away. And I'm talking about serving platters, any charcuterie boards, any crystal pieces, any china pieces. I mean, there's a lot that we can use on our tablescapes that you already have. For anything else, we'll just fill it on in. I promise you have it. So go take a look, and I'll be here when you get back. How did you do? I bet you found some good stuff. All right, I'm gonna go look at my stuff and see what I can find, and then we're gonna do this together. And I'm gonna fast forward through the whole process so you can see everything that I moved, okay? Hang tight.
All right, y'all, let's get funky. So my most favorite thing to do, and I do it at home and I do it in my store, is I put texture where texture needs to be, but it's kind of unsuspecting. So I usually put a throw blanket on a table, a console table. I mean, I'll wrap it up and put it in a basket in a weird spot, but it adds this load of warmth where warmth is really needed, but it's kind of hard because in a traditional sense, you would put a tablecloth, but that just ain't me. So anyway, I'm just kind of stacking some stoneware bowls, some pots and pans. These are all things you have, including that book. I just put an iron hand sculpture on it, but you could easily put a magnifying glass or another trinket that you might have. You see, I just readjusted that big matte black vase because it wasn't high enough. I really wanted to create a better tiered look because I know that I have something else that I have for that spot. Here I've added some flatware, which I know y'all have, and I just collected it in a nice vase and displayed it. How many of us have great flatware, or we've been gifted flatware from a registry, or it's a certain color, and it just sits in a drawer? Let's display it. Ah, there's the vase. I was looking for that. It's a perfect sober gray. That's the name of it, I promise. On the other side, what you can't see is I've added this beautiful glass vase, and it's filled with more of those iron hands. And once again, just disclaimer, this is my store, so I have to use an abundance because I want to make it shoppable. Here I am, just boot scooting around, adding a couple things, making sure the levels are aesthetically pleasing. I'm adding some crystal stemware in just to make sure that everything is balanced and it looks gorgeous. Final touches with decanters. And here we are. I think we're almost there. Oh, wait a second. Yep, the good old bowl switch. Standing back, looking at it from a different perspective, I see that we're lacking a little bit of balance. And I think it was those white stoneware bowls. So I break it up, add some black, put another sculpture in there to alleviate some of the dramatic triangle effect.
Well, how'd we do? How did you do? Did you see all the movement? And that I switched out the white and mixed in the black stoneware bowls? It just wasn't balancing well. And then I had crystal on one side, no crystal on the other, and I was able to bridge that gap by mixing up the white a little bit. And then everything was clustered, and it was beautiful, but I wanted it to be spread out just a little bit more. So I pushed everything out and kind of coaxed it out to the ends. And granted, this is my store, so I have to have a little bit more in abundance when I'm doing my displays. But guess what? My house actually looks just like this. I pull out a ton of books. I put disco balls on top. I have lamps in weird spots. And that's what I encourage you to do. There was one point where I went through a very minimalist phase and I absolutely loved it. Granted, I also was a new homeowner, a new mom, a new wife, and I didn't have much in the budget for decor. So I just kept it very minimal and it was very sweet. But there's a comment made about that I don't have to put all this stuff away because I have kids. And it was one of those determining factors that made me realize how heavily influenced we can be by statements around us. I felt like crap. And I thought, gosh, does my house not look warm and inviting? Do I have soul in every corner? I do. And to that person, they made an assumption that I was hiding things because I didn't want my kids to touch them. If you know me, you know I want my kids to be curious and love everything that they see around them and be able to touch it. Nothing's taboo. So anyway, that is my encouragement to you. I want you to try to shed your preconceived notions or the statements that are floating around from other people in your life, because this is your home. No one else is living in your house but you. This is where you cry. This is where you mend. This is where you heal from trauma. This is where you celebrate. This is where you welcome new family members. This is where you become you. And that's the most important thing. So why would you want to drive someone else's car when you can drive your own? Anyway, I hope you guys found some of this fruitful. And note, I did go back to the pyramid idea. I did the pyramid idea. I have color balance and I've spread everything out and there's levels all over the place. So follow along for more tips and tricks and maybe a little empowerment too. Thanks, guys.
1, 2, 3.